Good show tonight, folks. Good show tonight. Try to get it in under 20 minutes. Give me a second. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Patriot Nation TV. I'm your host, Tim Davis, aka Professor X, your New Age Patriot with the 1776 attitude. Just one man, one opinion. Trying to connect the dots and make sense of it all in this bizarro world. It is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. So, this is good little show, 20 minutes. Hopefully I get it in under 20 minutes. And it's going to be on this day in 2014 and wars and rumors of wars. So let's get it on. Let's get it started. Wars and rumors of wars. Biden's war against Russia is a cover-up for his many failures, his many failures. But it's not just Biden's cover-up for his failures. It's the Western Hemisphere's failures. They're covering it all up. This New World Order, Great Reset is crumbling. It's crumbling apart. So they ask you, are you distracted yet? Are you distracted by all the buffoonery? Tell me. I don't know. Have you noticed it's been crisis after crisis since Biden's inauguration? Before that, we had neighborhoods torn down and set on fire. We had firemen and policemen being attacked. EMTs being attacked, people being attacked all on a go ahead from the Democratic Party. And these liberal buffoons, these evil heathens, along with judges and prosecutors allowing it to go. And I must say it's financed by no other than the New World Order globalist, George Soros. Are you getting it yet? Is it making sense? So I ask this, why do Democrats want you to hate Putin? Just not the Democrats, though. The rhinos, the warmongers, the media industrial complex, the military industrial complex. But why do the Democrats and all these other entities want you to hate Putin? Ask yourself. I'm going to ask you, has Putin shipped every middle-class job in your town, your father's, your uncle's town, your grandfather's town, or your brother-in-law's town, your brother's town? Did Putin ship all middle-class jobs to Russia? Did he manufacture a worldwide pandemic that wrecked your businesses and people's livelihoods? Is he teaching your kids to embrace a racial discrimination? Is he making fentanyl? Is he allowing an invasion in our southern borders? So on and so on. Did he do that? When you see BBC, PBS, Fox, CNN, any other mainstream media outlets are all against Russia, you finally get to see the government media complex that I and many others have warned you about. You see, it's propaganda. So this takes me to on this date, February 22nd, 2014, 8 years ago. It's been 8 years. So how did this mess really all start? Today's Ukraine crisis is attributed to February 22nd, 2014, CIA-backed coup, while then 69-year-old Russian President Vladimir Putin hosted the Sochi Winter Olympics. Pro-Western separatists, led by 50-year-old Kyiv Mayavalati Klitschko, toppled the duly elected Kremlin, backed the government of Viktor Yanukovych, chasing him out of Kyiv, backed by the CIA. The February 22nd, 2014 coup was perfectly timed while Putin had no options, while he completed the Sochi Winter Olympics. Not one Western government or press report comes close to admitting how the Ukraine's mess started. Started under Obama. When Obama's administration, Joe Biden was the vice president, that's when it all started. When they were toppling governments and putting theirs in. From Gaddafi and Libya and so on, Syria and so on and so on. None of them are admitting it. How the Ukraine mess started. Instead blaming Putin for the last 8 years. Trump, blaming Trump being a Russian colluder, so on and so on. So that led Russia, that's when Russia annexed the Crimean Peninsula from the Ukraine in 2014, after mass protests prompted Ukraine's Moscow-friendly leader to flee to Russia. This is what the Associated Press, that's what they say. Completely distorting the actual February 22nd, 2014 events under the leadership of President Obama and Vice President Joe Biden. Putin was blindsided by a CIA-backed Kyiv coup. No Western government or press admits that the February 22nd, 2014 coup threatened Putin's naval base in Crimea, prompting Putin on March 1st, 2014 to annex the Crimean Peninsula. For the past 8 years, the West blames Putin, not admitting that had the 2014 CIA-backed coup not taken place, Crimea would still be part of the Ukraine. When it comes to today's crisis, you have a 43-year-old Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky continues to exploit the U.S. and NATO to antagonize the Russian Federation, trying without much Western help to blame Putin for the current crisis. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Rybovich, who led discussions in Geneva on January 10th, insists that the U.S. and NATO must provide ironclad guarantees that Ukraine cannot receive security assistance from the West. This has been going on for a while. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the big plan. Besides one man, one opinion, I think America should just mind its business, stay out of all foreign affairs at this point. And, maybe perhaps Russia is Europe's best hope. Considering if you look at it, what's going on in America, what's going on in Canada, what's going around Western Europe. Maybe Russia is Europe's best hope. Just a few days ago, after a full-scale fascist dictatorship was installed in Canada. Yeah, it was. Canada is a full-fledged fascist dictatorship. We'll do a show on that tomorrow or the next day. On that, the government of the Russian Federation recognized the independence of two new states. The true difference between the West and Russia could hardly have been demonstrated more clearly. How so, you may ask? Simply, the West is a dreary open-air prison where individual freedoms and personal integrity have been abolished by decree. It is a place where the family, cornerstone of civilized society, is under constant pernicious attack. A place where men are urged to transform into women and women are becoming men. a place run by sadistic Satanists who are enjoying the pain and suffering they inflict on their populations and citizens. A place where rulers such as Biden, Macron, Trudeau, Root, von der Leyen, and Arden deserve to be in prison with a life sentence. Many may argue, or many may even prefer, to see them dangling from a nearby lamppost for treason, tyranny. People in the West are subjected to a daily barrage of the most insidious and evil propaganda by the media, newspapers, TV, radio, social media, relying on independent fact checkers. Although hard statistical data are not available, one may safely estimate that at least 1/4 to 1/3 of the populations in any Western nation does not agree with the arbitrary, discriminatory, and racist policies of the governments. Absolutely not. These policies are particularly harmful to the average citizen. You got anti-COVID measures, draconian rules imposed to fight climate change, a delusional woke LGBTQ codes of conduct. Many in the West also resent systematic Russophobia and its instant Russia and Putin bashing. Many, I must say, many in the West, especially Europe, Western Europe, just wish for good relations with Russia because Russians are Europeans like themselves. It has nothing to do with us Americans. We're not Europeans. We're on a whole different continent. We should mind our business. By taking their fates in their own hands and declaring their independence from the fascist U.S. imposed ruling clique, the citizens of Donetsk and Luhansk have shown that's in Ukraine, have shown Western Europeans what they need to do, namely liberate themselves from the fascist parasites that are running and rooting their nations. You know, they really are. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. If the people of Donetsk and Luhansk can do this, there is no reason why the Catalans can't, or the Frisians and Netherlands and the Italians or any other European nation can't. As a matter of fact, each and every European nation should kick out their rulers. The UN, NATO, EU, they should kick out their rulers. To the hell with the EU, the UN, Brussels, the Brussels bureaucrats, hell with NATO, UN, and US military occupants. They should kick us out. I think we should just pull out, mind our own business, but maybe they should just kick us out. The people of Luhansk and Donetsk have shown that their fellow Europeans what can be done and how to do it. Instead of the Great Reset, such as advocated by the WEF, crime boss Schwab, or a US-led New World Order, what Europe needs is a federated state under Russian leadership and protection. They're all Europeans. Let them worry about themselves. That's enough. That would not only be good for Europe, but its citizens, but the world altogether, the whole world. Let Europe deal with them. We have our own issues here in America. We really do. So, I get often asked, for those who ask, why does Ukraine matter? Why does Ukraine matter? Well, it matters for a lot of reasons. So, how does the nation of Ukraine rank? Ukraine is first in Europe in proven recoverable reserves of uranium ores. Second in Europe and 10th place in the world in terms of titanium ore reserves. It's second in the world in terms of explored reserves of manganese ores I think it's like something like 2.3 billion tons, or 12% of the world's reserves. It's second largest in iron ore reserves in the world. It's second in Europe in terms of mercury ore reserves. It's third place in Europe, 13th place in the world in shale gas reserves, 22 trillion cubic meters. It's fourth in the world by total of natural resources. Seventh place in the world in coal reserves, 33.9 billion tons. Ukraine is an agricultural country. It's first in Europe in terms of arable land area. It's third place in the world by the area of black soil, 25% of the world's volume. It's first place in the world in exports of sunflower and sunflower oil. Second place in the world in barley productions, and fourth place in barley exports. Third largest producer and fourth largest exporter of corn in the world. Fourth largest producer of potatoes in the world. Fifth largest rye producer. Fifth place in the world in bee production. Eighth place in the world in wheat exports. Ninth in the world in production of chicken eggs. 16th place in the world in cheese exports. Ukraine by itself can meet the food needs of 600 million people. Ukraine is an industrialized country. It's first in Europe in ammonia production. It's second in Europe and fourth largest natural gas pipeline in the world. Third largest in Europe and eighth largest in the world in terms of installed capacity of nuclear power plants. Third place in Europe and 11th in the world in terms of rail networks. Third place in the world after the US and France in production of locators and locating equipment. Third largest iron exporter in the world. Fourth largest exporter of turbines for nuclear power plants in the world. Fourth in the largest manufacturer of rocket launchers. Fourth place in the world in clay exports. Fourth in the world in titanium exports. Eighth place in the world in exports of ores and concentrates. Ninth place in the world in exports of defense industry products. 10th largest steel producer in the world, 32.4 million tons. This is what this is all about. It's about resources. It's about resources. It's the wag the dog scenario. So I can't get behind it. I can't get behind any intervention in this meddling with Russia. I did a show earlier. If I was in charge, maybe I'll post it in the back corner, how I clearly and articulate how I would dismantle from NATO and the UN and Council of Foreign Relations and all that. Start making America great again. But anyway, that's my show for tonight, folks. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the show, please, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get future notifications and updates on future shows. So I hope you enjoyed it. It's my little take on this Ukraine crisis. And don't let your heart be broken. It's just one big confusion. So as always, I'm Tim Davis, aka Perfectioner X from Patriot Nation TV, signing out, saying God bless you, God bless America. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.